Pulse 95. Between local lines. Notes from the Emirate.
Notes from the Emirate indeed. A very warm welcome back onto the Morning Majlis. We're talking about digitalization, the Sharjah digital platform, a milestone in the Emirates digital transformation journey. And to lead that, we've got Sahab Solutions as well, who are partnering with the Sharjah Digital Office in achieving those goals. So to talk to us in greater detail about those plans is Mr. Amin Zarouni, who is the CEO of Sahab Solutions, who's very kindly joined us this morning to give us some details in terms of what's going on. So let's welcome him onto the show. A very good morning to you, Mr. Amin.
Good morning, Abdul Karim. Thanks for hosting me again on this show.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on board. Let's start talking about the Sharjah digital platform. What is it and where are we at the moment?
Yes, for sure. We are definitely very proud of this accomplishment. We basically, jointly with the Sharjah Digital Office, successfully have launched what we call the beta version of the Sharjah Digital Platform. And this has been announced in the Executive Council meeting, number 1000, one that got announced 2 weeks ago. But before I speak about the digital Sharjah platform, I would like to basically speak what is digital, and so people can realize what happened during the last 20 years so that we call things digital nowadays. In the early 2000s, if we recall, we had the phase of the government or e-services coming into the picture. And then a shift happened, and then we started realizing a lot of terminologies that are being called smart services. But recently, the word digital came into mind a lot, and we've seen the Sharjah Digital Office being launched. We've seen Digital Dubai being launched recently as well by His Highness Sheikh Hamad bin Rashid last week. Digital, in my opinion, has 3 pillars for us to achieve a digital transformation or a digital platform or digital initiative. There is a transformation that has to happen on the process, which is basically the way we do things in terms of policies, procedures, and then people. It's a change of mindset. It's a shift of how do we understand things and how do we basically tackle a specific item. And then tool, a product. For sure, technology comes into place to make it digital. So if the 3 come into play, then we have a digital transformation. And that's what we basically proudly say we managed to achieve within the Sharjah Digital Platform in partnership with the Sharjah Digital Office.
Yeah,
there has been a huge shift. There has been a huge shift in the services. So there are many services that we are working on re-engineering and redesigning. There are policies that are changing, and there are tools that we are introducing to the platform to make the platform basically integratable, to make it automated, to make these services integrated between multiple entities, etc.
Yeah, can you talk to us some more about that as the CEO of Sahab? What has been the role of Sahab in Sharjah's digital transformation specifically?
So we are partners from the early stages, partners from the conception stage, putting the strategy, putting the plan, doing the whole study and the business analysis. We have been partners with them from day one in designing the whole concept of how to move digital and how to basically set the policies and the standards and the procedures, and then look at the services, even study how many services we have in the government of Sharjah. What are the services that we're going to tackle and why we're going to tackle these services out of the others? We started personalizing the services and creating a market segment that, okay, we're going to target citizens, we're going to target investors, tourists and visitors to the Emirate. And these are the personas that we started focusing on. And then as Sahab, we came with our resources, with our team to basically make sure that we develop that platform jointly with them. So the exercise started from the early stages where the conception is being implemented, the strategy being put into place, the business analysis is being done, and then the development, which is an ongoing process, by the way. So you're going to notice that the platform is being enhanced with the new services as we go.
And can you elaborate on some of those services? Give us some examples on how digital transformation is helping people here in the Emirate.
Yes, definitely. The way we tackle services in digital Sharjah is a bit different. That's why we call it digital. It's very easy to bring classical services such as, for example, renewing your tenancy contract or paying your bills, or, for example, renewing your, Itisalat registration line, for example. All of these services are, one way. You can just do it through the entity themselves. What we're trying to achieve is to bring what we call the journeys, the customer journeys, which is a bunch of services integrated together that creates a macro service. Let's take an example of, for example, if I want to move in or move out from an apartment or from my home, I want to move from one place to another. There is so many services that I have to basically go through. I have to either cancel my Siwa line, I have to cancel my internet line, or ask for a transfer. I have to also cancel my tenancy contract and request a new one. So there is a process that I need to go through. But ideally, all what I should say is that I'm moving from apartment ABC to apartment XYZ. And then the government has to understand all the other requests that I need. It has to be proactive with me and ask me, do you want to transfer your electricity line? Do you want to transfer your internet line? And all what I need to do is yes and no. And that's a journey that I go through. Another example could be if an investor coming in or an entrepreneur who would like to open a restaurant, let's say for an example, there is so many NOCs that he has to apply for, be it from the water authority, or be it from the civil defense, or be it from the municipality. But some entrepreneurs, they don't know exactly all the NOCs that needs to be taken for a specific type of restaurant. A seafood restaurant is different than a small burger place. So the platform is intelligent enough to take that request and initiate the other services for the entrepreneur and start basically make his life easier. So this is the shift that we're trying to introduce. As you can see, there is a complete change on how we tackle the service and how do we basically provide it for the citizen at the end.
Yeah, and speaking about those services and new projects that have been undertaken by Sahab, can you take us through the latest development of projects here in the Emirate of Sharjah? Because I heard that you guys are in the process of developing the Emirate's first e-commerce platform for Souq al-Jubail. Can you talk to us about that and other projects as well?
Yes, there are two projects that I would be definitely interested to highlight on. First is Souq al-Jubail, as you highlighted, in partnership with our partners Seafood Souq, which is specialized in traceability for fish in the B2B domain. We entered with Souq al-Jubail in establishing the B2C side, so enabling the B2C factor. We realized that during the pandemic, the experience of buyers changed. People started to basically, interact with online platforms much more. The number of online buyers increased. And traditional retail shops need to basically change their mindset in how do they provide their products and their services online. And that's where we partnered with Souq al-Jubail in creating this e-commerce platform to enable the journey of buying a fish, which is, by the way, I don't know, Abdel Kareem, if you have that in the past. It's an experience that we used to have with our grandfathers.
Oh, yes.
Here. We go to the fish market and we start buying fish, and the experience that they go through the fish and checking them, while we have no idea what's happening. No idea at all what's happening. It's an experience that people would like to do physically, and changing that experience, moving it into a digital platform, we need to take that into consideration of how to ensure that experience exists online. So soon people will be able to buy different products from Souq al-Jubail, especially fish, different varieties of fish, be it from local providers or be it from abroad, so they can place their orders for the fish that they need, the way that they want it to be cut, and then it get delivered to their home. In the future, we will have further phases coming in. So the initial phase is coming within a few months, hopefully. And then we're going to have many other features coming in, such as, for example, I could order exactly my meal, and I need a seafood soup, and then it comes with it, They send me already the shrimps, the calamari, and the fish that is needed, and the ingredients and the spices that's needed with it, and it get delivered to me. So this is what we are doing with Souq al-Jubail platform. Another initiative that we are also engaged in the Emirate of Sharjah, where we help this journey of digital transformation, is with our partner Sharjah Civil Defense. One of the big entities, and they have big operation in the Emirate. We are handling the full development of their services as well as their backend operation. So we do a full optimization and automation of their services that they do or they provide for citizens or for businesses or for government entities as well. So it's a fully integrated platform for the Sharjah Civil Defense as well.
And Amin, where are we with big data collection? How is that informing the digital transformation and the work you've been putting in?
Every project that gets executed, especially on the digital sphere, there is a tremendous amount of data that's being collected. When we established Digital Sharjah platform, we know that the automation of services or having these services on a digital layer, we need to continuously analyze the data so that be able to enhance either the service itself, enhance the customer experience, personalize the customer experience. Because, as I said, the personas, when they interact with the platform, if there are more than 1,000 services on the platform, it's going to be really difficult for a person to coming in and look for the service they want. But if I can analyze the data and personalize these services for the person who are coming in, then it makes their life easier. So this is what we do. We take all that data, we analyze it, and we start personalizing it for the personas that are coming on the platform. And you can also think about it the same way, even on the Souq al-Jubail platform. Based on the buyers that are coming on the platform, we understand that I have nationality A coming and buying X product. So then when I come and do my campaign and my marketing campaign, I target the X nationality because similar people actually bought that product. So there is a lot of things that you can do with the data on the digital layer once you collect it and once you start basically analyzing it and put an action into it.
I'd like to touch upon the sentiments of the general consumers. What have you observed? This is building on from the data collected and also the experience of the seafood souk, as you talked about, because there's still going to be traditional conservatives who would say, I still want to go to Souq al-Jubail. I still want to check if the gills are fresh enough for this fish to particularly buy, exactly what our grandparents used to do, and we used to find it really strange, but then it just works, doesn't it? How well are people receiving this digital transformation? Are they happy with this? Are they because the face-to-face interaction when it comes to government services is so crucial for a lot of people to get that reassurance. But through an app, which is also quite interactive and smart enough to tell you these are the checklists of the service you require, but that reassurance factor, how do we achieve that? How are the people receiving this transformation?
I always believe that we overthink this point. We think that the audience and the people really need to be educated, and there's a huge change that has to happen. But reality is that the citizens and the consumers or the clients are actually in a much more advanced stage. They are utilizing digital services much more than what we think. We are doing majority of our buying online nowadays. We are interacting with digital banking online. We're doing a lot of our work now online. So yes, when we talk specifically about Souq al-Jubail, availing the experience there are a huge number of people that would love to continue having the physical experience. But there are also other segments that, based on surveys that has been conducted by us, that would love to basically have the fish delivered to them, cooked even sometimes, delivered to their home, especially in far location, especially in buildings, apartments. There are a specific segment of people that would love to basically have the digital experience. The physical experience will continue to be there. I was in a panel discussion almost a month ago, where there was a discussion going on the future of digital commerce platform and the physical retail shops. And the conclusion is both coexist. They have to continue coexisting because there are people that would love to have that emotion connection the physical connection with the physical stores, and that will continue. But I will also be availing the digital services that are available there.
It's a bit of a hybrid customer base, isn't it? So that's going to be an interesting one to look forward to. Well, Mr. Amin Zarouni, thank you very much for joining us and briefing us with the plans and expectations coming up, and we appreciate your time with us this morning.
Most welcome, Rahim. Thank you so much. Thank you for hosting me again.
Well, this was Amin Zarouni, the CEO of Sahab Solutions, briefing us in terms of how Sharjah digital platform is evolving, the customer base evolving as well. And if you'd like to catch this as a podcast, you can log on to SoundCloud and Apple Podcast, as well as YouTube, to check out this discussion. You're listening to the Morning Majlis only on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of the Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse.